Hello, one and all, to the Peak Signing Agents podcast. I'm your host, DVO Derek Van Otten. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I want you to, real quick, before we get into the episode, take a moment to just reflect a little bit about your wins this week. What or which wins have you had this week? Did you get your first signing? Did you say yes when you were scared? Did you make a mistake but you got it taken care of right away? Did you get a new client? Did you get added to a preferred list? What is your win? What is some wins that you accumulated this week in business? And just, quickly clap for yourself. A little celebration for yourself. And while you're at it, why not think of some wins that you had this week personally? Any great wins? Did you get a promotion at your job? Did you get a project done? Did you an activity you were planning on for a while? Did you book something? Like a vacation you've been wanting to do? Whatever. Just celebrate some wins real quick. And while you're thinking those over, if you don't mind, again, please share the podcast. Subscribe on all the different podcast platforms, on YouTube, leave comments, reviews, and greatly what really helps is sharing the podcast. I appreciate that. I've seen a lot of people post in different groups, certain episodes are about the podcast, how it helped them. I see those, and I appreciate that. It means that you are liking the content I'm providing. I take time away from my busy life and business to do this for you, to bring value to all the signing agents and notaries out there. And so to give back to me, share it, and different things like that. I appreciate that. I really do. So thank you. All right. This episode, I am talking about if you're only available, for example, on maybe evenings and weekends. The reason why is I recently just had my local notary meetup. This was asked a few times, and I've seen this in a few different forums where people ask, can you build this business? Can you build your own business, signing agent business, when you maybe have a full-time job Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, for example, and you're only available in the evenings and weekends, and you're willing to do it, you have no problem working those hours and times, but can you really build this business? I want to share with you my thoughts about that and about how you can. So let's get into it. The first question, like I said, is asked, can you build this business? Can you build your signing agent business based purely on evenings and weekends? The short answer is yes. Yes, you can. How big can you build your business is another question. How successful will it be is another question. Will you get a lot of business? Limiting yourself is another question. So these are all questions you also should be asking. That is a totally fine, legit question. Some people are brand new, just looking into this. So they obviously don't want to quit their job yet. And I would definitely not encourage you to quit your job yet. So I get that. Some people, they had to get a job recently to kind of just make ends meet. So now they're only available on the weekends and evenings. So can they still do this? Can they get to a point where they can supplement their income? I understand the question. I get it. There's a lot of different reasons why. And I think it's a legit question. I think it's totally legit. Can you do this? So again, short answer is yes. Yes, you can. But how much success will you have doing it is another question. I recently had a lady in my meetup, and she asked that she wanted to do this full time. And right when she got her notary commission, she was laid off at a job. And she thought, oh boy, okay, I'm gonna go full time as a signing agent. And it takes a while, because what she stated was, you do a signing on October 1st, but you might not get paid until November 1st or November 10th, as an example. So you're looking at 30 to 45 days before you actually get your payment for a job. I get that. I understand that. My answer to her was, you do a lot. You do a lot of signings, and then the money starts just rolling in. But it takes a minute to get there. I get it, especially when, you've got kids and you've got a mortgage and you've got groceries. I understand. And remember, I'm on your side. So She recently had to get a job. Well, a great job offer was presented to her, and now she's only wanting to build her. She wants to start doing signings on evenings and weekends only until she gets to a place where she can replace her income and quit her job. So, let's talk about that. You definitely can, okay? I just want to say that again. The short answer is yes. Yes, you can. How do you go about it, though? A couple ways to do it. One is you're waiting for offers from signing services and platforms to come your way. So you're just waiting. You're just waiting for that notification to come through. Are you available? And just remember, you can always counter. Let's just say I'm looking for a notary in a certain area and it's for 3 o'clock. But you, the signing agent, are not available until maybe 5 o'clock. You can try countering, saying, I'm not available at 3, but I'm available at 5. Because maybe as a signing service owner, no one responds. No one is available at 3 o'clock. So I have to then go to my title company, my client, and say, hey, I can't find anybody for the 3 o'clock time, but I can find somebody for 5 o'clock. Is that okay? Let me call the signers. Let me just verify that's okay with them. And then we can offer you the job. So you can always counter when signing services send you requests. You can also market yourself direct to signing services. Again, if you are a student of the loan signing system, and if you're not, you can use my affiliate link to become a student. There is actually in the course, along the way in the course, there is a list of 300 signing services that you can reach out to market yourself to. And I'll talk about that in a moment, but you can market yourself and say, hey, my name is Derek. I'm a signing agent in Utah, and I'll be happy to help you out. Here's my availability. And the other way you can do it is go marketing direct. And you can go market direct and just tell them up front, hey, I'm a signing agent. I'm a notary. Actually, I don't say I'm a signing agent. I'm a mobile notary. I can help you out. I know you're open from 8 to 5, so anything after 5 o'clock, you need it covered. I'm your person. I know you only work Monday through Friday. If you need weekends covered, I'm your person. And so you're basically just marketing yourself as an after-hours notary. Does that make sense? So yes, you can definitely do that. Now let's go back to me as a signing service. So I own a signing service, Peak Signing. Hence the name of the podcast, Peak Signing Agents. So I own a signing service. I live in Utah. Let's say a notary from Idaho Falls, a neighboring state, contacts me. He says, hey, I'm available. Just so you know, I have a job Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, so I'm available after hours and weekends. So if I need a notary in Idaho Falls, there's not a ton of notaries that maybe are coming through on my platform. So I might see you and remember, like, oh yeah, all right. Yeah, I remember this notary. They reached out to me and they have some availability in the evenings. So yeah, that's definitely an option, this notary. But let's go to another neighboring state, Arizona. And let's just say I have a request in Arizona and you say, hey, I'm available. I have a job in the daytime, but I'm available, evenings and weekends. And I pull up Phoenix and I see you there. I will remember you. I'll remember that we talked, and because I'll mark you. I'm gonna mark you in my system, so you're at the top of the list. I'll see you. I'll remember you. But am I going to remember your availability when there's 300 other signing agents in the area? There's a good chance I won't. Does that make sense? So if you're in a small area, again, for example, Idaho Falls, Idaho. If you're in a small area and I'm only seeing 20 notaries in the whole area, and you're at the top of my list, I'm probably going to remember your availability. Or if you're a signing agent that I use a lot, and you do great work, but you're limited and there's not a lot, I'm going to remember your availability. But if you're in an area where there's a ton of other signing agents, I probably won't remember your availability. I'll still send you the request. I'm just going to say, hey, here's a signing opportunity for noon, and I'm going to send it your way. You got first chances to see that text message before I send it to a lot of other people. You might be one of the first ones to see it. But if you're not available, I'm just going to go down the list because there's 300 others that might be available at that time. Does that make sense? I hope that does, because what's happening is when you limit yourself, you limit your opportunities. right? If you're limiting your availability, you're limiting your opportunities to take on jobs. Does that make sense? And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If that's your availability, that is your availability. Just know it might take a little bit longer to get the ball rolling. Might be a little bit more difficult to do that. But there's nothing wrong with that. When I first started as a signing agent, I had a couple things going on. I had a full-time job to make ends meet, and I had another side business I was trying to grow. And I was getting requests, so I was at my job from 8 to 4, I believe it was my hours, like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That was the hours I was at my job, 8 to 4. So if anything was after 4, I would say yes. Anything before 4, I actually would just counter. I'm like, are you available at noon? No, I'm available at 5. So that's what I did. I just countered every offer that came my way. And I got, like, once in a while I'd get one of those that accepted my counter. But a lot of times I didn't get those. But what happened was I was like, gosh, I'm saying no a lot. What if I just started saying yes to more? So I started saying yes, and I would take the day off, or I would do it like during lunch. Like I was able to take lunch whenever I wanted. So okay, I'll do this during my lunch break. The problem would be sometimes was that only worked if I had documents the day before. So if the appointment was at noon, let's say today's Monday, and the appointment's for Tuesday at noon, and I said yes, and they gave it to me. Okay, great. I'll do it on my lunch break. The problem is I would need the documents Monday though for Tuesday, or else I would have no way to print them. That was just my situation. Maybe you're at a job where you can print documents. I wasn't. So that was my limitations. I had to say, hey, just so you know, this is tomorrow at noon, but I wouldn't have time to print unless they were ready today, and then I'd be taken off the order. Hey, that's how I was able to do, right? I had to do what I had to do. And that's what you have to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I remember one time calling up a signing agent because there was not many in the area. And she was like, I can only do it at this time after work. I said, well, it's really got to make FedEx or UPS. Like, what time is the last pickup? I'm like, gosh, it's really got to make it. There's not a lot of, signing agents in your area. And so I had to be like, like how much do you make at your job? Like, what's your hourly pay? Because if you're thinking like $20 an hour and you take like a 2-hour lunch, you will not get $40, right? Like 2-hour lunch. So that's $20 an hour. You would not get you would miss out on 40 hours, $40, but you might make 75 or 100 doing the signing. So I had to walk through that with a signing agent one time. I'm like, but can you take like a long lunch, or can you take like half a day off? I mean, if you're making $20 an hour and you take half a day off, that's $80. Take 4 hours just as an example. If you took half a day off, you lost $80 at $80 at your job. But if I'm going to pay you $100, you actually made money and you got some experience. So, I mean, I was just trying to do what I was trying to do as a signing service to get the job done too, right? I had to kind of work it through, and that's what we ended up doing. She actually just took a long lunch. She's like, okay, yeah, I'll just take a long lunch and get it done in between lunch, and I'm going to get paid more than I would have got paid the whole day at my job, most likely, from one signing. That's kind of how I looked at it. Because I looked at it, if I did 2 signings a day at $100, that's my whole day at my job at 8 hours. That's what got me to quit my job. Like, I just started looking at it that way. Does that make sense? So I was making $25 an hour. That's $200 for 8 hours. So I was making $200 for 8 hours of work. And I'm like, if I did 2 signings at $100, that's my whole day at a job that I wasn't really that happy at. It was just kind of, like I said, making ends meet for me. It was funny at my meetup recently too. A lot of people said, I really want to get this going, because once you know about the opportunity of being a signing agent and then you go to your job, like, you just don't want to be there anymore. So I totally get that. But we all, as people, always think about ourselves. Okay, we always think about who can benefit us, what will benefit us, what will make our lives easier, what makes our job easier. So when we're trying to say that, like, hey, I only want to be a signing agent, but right now I'm only available in the evenings and weekends, and you're limiting yourself, also understand that maybe is from a selfish perspective. I'm not saying you're being selfish, okay? If you feel like I'm attacking you, I wasn't talking to you. But it's a little selfish, right? Because we're like, hey, this is my schedule, so I want things to accommodate me. I know you're not saying that, but it's like you're saying that, though. Right? Follow along with me. We're all a little selfish, and what's in it for me. I'm guilty too. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I am also very guilty of this. We are human beings, and all of us are like this. Okay? So we're limiting our availability, but we want others to accommodate our availability. So let's switch roles a little bit. You want to buy a house. Who do you need to help you find houses? A real estate agent. Okay? So now let's put ourselves in the position of the client, and we are going to hire a real estate agent. And the real estate agent says, oh, I'll be happy to represent you and help you find your house. Just so you know, though, here's my availability. I'll only answer emails Mondays and Tuesdays, and then I'll only do showings on Saturdays between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you need a real estate agent. You've found a real estate agent that has limitations. How likely do you want to work with this real estate agent? How likely will this real estate agent succeed? Is it possible? Yes, it is. Will it be harder for this real estate agent who's putting limitations to succeed, or will they do it at a slower pace than others? Yeah. Yeah, they will. Will they still get clients? Yes, they still will. But put yourself in the position of the client. If your real estate agent told you, I'll be happy to help you find your house, I'll do the best job that I can for you, but just know I'll put my best efforts in only on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'll do your emails, and then only on Saturdays between this hour, I will do showings. I'll show you houses. Will you still work with that real estate agent? Maybe. Maybe you won't. But that's what's happening when you're going to market yourself this way. You're putting limitations on yourself, saying, hey, potential future client, I want to work with you. I want to partner with you, but you need to accommodate my schedule. That's essentially what you're saying, because that's how they're reading it. You might not be saying that verbally. That's how they're reading it. Understand what I'm saying? Can you do it? Yes. Will it be harder for you? Yes. Will it take longer for you? Yes. Will you still get to your goals? If you put in the work effort, you will. You might do it a little slower than someone else, but you still might get there. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, though. Understand. I'm just showing you different perspectives. I'm helping you look at it differently from different sides of it, okay? Because we always look at it internally. We look at every adversity internally, say, how can things benefit me? How can I make this? How can I manipulate this to work in my benefit? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you don't like the words I'm using, but that's the truth, in my opinion. Again, put yourself in the perspective of let's just say you're marketing to a title company or mortgage company. Put yourself in their shoes. Someone is marketing to them saying, hey, I would love to be your signing agent. I would love to be your notary. I'd love to help you out. But just know I can only do it on the evenings and weekends. Now, there's a way to do it so it sounds more professional. And that's how I did it earlier. Hey, listen, I'm a mobile notary. I would love to help you and your clients out. I know you're in the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Just know, and I know you're going to have all your clients coming in, but just know, if you have clients or needs after those hours or on the weekends, hey, I'm your notary. I'm the person you want in your corner. I got your back. I'll make sure they're taken care of. Doesn't that sound a little better, though? So you can do it. It's just how you do it. Did you see how I phrased it? I'm saying the same thing. I'm still saying I'm only available evenings and weekends, but it's how I said it. I said in a professional way. Hey, I understand that you're in the office and you prefer the clients coming into your office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But just know, after those hours, people are still working. They can't get off work. Traffic's bad. Hey, I'll be happy to take care of your clients. I'll take good care of your clients. Don't you worry. I know the weekends, that's time for you and your family, but that's when people have some availability. Hey, I'll be happy to take care of them on the weekends for you. Doesn't that sound a little better? I'm saying the same thing. I'm only available evenings and weekends, but I said it in a way that benefits my future potential client. It's not, hey, I'm only available these days. Can you work with me here? Do you think you can need me? Do you think you might need my service? Like how can you accommodate my schedule? See, I'm not asking that. I'm asking, hey, I'm going to help you out. I know you're busy. I know this is when you're working. And the clients, sometimes, I know their needs come first. Hey, after hours and weekends, I'm your notary. I'm saying the same thing, but I'm saying it in a way that shows my benefit, the benefit of my service. Does that make sense? And you can do that with signing services as well, right? Instead of saying, hey, this is my only availability, you can just say, hey, my name is Derek. I'm a local notary in this area. I know a lot of your clients, they are hiring you because the people are after hours, or maybe they need something on the weekends. Hey, just want you to know I'm available. I'll be happy to take care of all your clients' needs during those times. Right? You're saying the same thing essentially, but you're just phrasing it different versus instead of, hey, how can you accommodate my schedule? Hey, I'm here to accommodate your schedule. I know you got everything covered and things happen because of your clients. I'm here to accommodate your client's schedule. Isn't that different? Instead of accommodate my schedule, hey, my service is to accommodate your client's schedule. Same thing, different perspectives. Instead of accommodate me, remember my schedule, instead of that, it's how can I benefit you and your clients? Because remember, we're in the service industry. So many people out there asking, can you do this? Yes, you can. It's just a different approach. Don't think about me. How can I provide service? We're in the service industry. And keep being awesome because you are rocking it. Don't forget that. I'm in your corner. I got your back. Keep doing it a little bit every time. All right. Celebrate those wins. Keep moving forward. That's the main thing. You keep moving forward. Your availability or your lack of is just an obstacle. What do you do with obstacles? You get past them. You just keep going forward. You get past the obstacle. This is just another one until you're ready to go full time or whatever it is, or do something different. Okay? It's just an obstacle. You can get through this. You're strong. Talk to you next episode. Bye.